What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Comeback Couples Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jennison, with
Kendra Jennison.
And one of these days, we're going to record that. And we're going to make it sound the same with some effects, and
No way.
it's going to blow up. So, I've got a topic today. I bet you don't know what it is.
I don't.
What do you think it is? Let's just play this fun little game.
All right. I think it's either going to have to do with the topic of like leadership, or like what is like inspiring me or you, pushing us into this new phase we're in, or it's going to have to do with, that's all I got. I think it's more along those lines.
No, that's right.
Dang
It's right.
it. Oh,
No,
is
it's part of it, right? But I want to come around. This is going to be on parenting.
Cool.
And social media and
Sweet.
being an example. Mm-hmm. So then it'll turn into leadership, right? Cool. I'll just share a story. Obviously, you know the story because you live it. But for the listeners out there, this past weekend, Kendra was in Florida at our Florida house for her sister, my sister-in-law's bachelorette party, right? So it's called bachelorette party. Mm-hmm. You and like 14 ladies.
Yeah.
Right? That sounds like a lot of people as our house isn't that big, but 14 people down in Florida enjoying the sun, which you got a lovely suntan. And oh, by the way, I really love that Afghan you're wearing today.
Thank you.
It looks good on you. Makes your butt look nice and plump. But no, so the comment was, or the topic is this. You went away. Dad was left with the kids. We'll just break this down into the micro of what was going on. Dad was with the kids. Dad's also running a very, very large growing business. Dad's also fucking psychotic. Dad's got just got all these crazy things going on, but you left me. I don't want to say alone because then it sounds like I'm a bitch, but like you left me the opportunity for me to run the household and see where it needs to be improved.
Yeah.
That was not really the goal, but it turned into the goal over the weekend.
Yeah. It just kind of happened.
Yeah. Like the goal was just to go, like it was always to let you go, have the space to go spend time with your sister and the people down there and enjoy it and come home to a clean house. Like that was it. Like you're going to leave and you're going to come back to a clean house. And then what happens in between is typically in the past is like, okay, mom's away. Let's fucking rock. Right. Yeah. Like, dinners, lack of showers. Like I just kind of let all the rules go when it's just me. And we were able to actually do that, but yet not do it at the same time. But here's what happened. A lot happened for the weekend, but here's what happened for me. I noticed that you allow them to kind of run the roost, right? Like run the house. And not in a bad way. It's almost like sometimes they look at you as you're a friend. We've talked about this, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. You're the friend or the sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I always like to think of it as the sister, like mom, it's mom, but she's cool. She's going to go fishing with us. She's going to go outside. She's going to jump on the trampoline. Mm-hmm. Cause you do a lot of mom, cool, active, like you're very present, very active inside their life.
Yes.
So that line gets blurred with you when it comes to discipline, not because you don't want to discipline them, but because you're in and it's been since we started.
Yeah.
You parented them in a place of really, really close, like alongside you instead of talking at them is probably the best way for me to put it.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it because it's true.
Yeah. Like you were just, they had bedtimes and certain things, but it was just so much love and so much connection and so much just like overlooking. Oh, they're so cute. These are my girls. They're so pretty. I just love them so much. And like, not in a bad way, like, cause you made them eat good food and do all this stuff. But like,
I know what you mean.
The boundaries, there's no boundaries.
Yeah. I would definitely say when it comes to like the disciplinary thing, it is a never ending battle because
disciplinary. We'll talk about boundaries. I mean, I'll give it back to you, but literally Jade, I was just checking it this weekend. She will literally stand on my left hip and follow me around the house. I was specifically walking in a pattern to see, and she would sit and stay on top of me.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's like a parasite. I know that's not nice to say, but like, I was like, damn, this little kid, which is good because it's her and we actually spent time together. But what I noticed opened up this weekend was the kids are far more capable of what they let on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Which is what I think is a big deal for us to work on, right?
Yeah.
I observed. I watched how they interact. I watched the fighting, which was limited. Mm-hmm. I watched the food choices, which were asked for. Mm-hmm. I watched when I could go out, like everything came with an ask.
Sure.
There was no dad, where there's typically mom all the time. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at it from a place of like, why is this happening? And this is not obviously a knock on you because I love how you mother them, but I'm like, wait a minute, these kids are taking full advantage of you. Mm-hmm. And that pissed me off.
It sure did, because you went into full drill sergeant dad mode.
But here's the thing. It's not the kids to be pissed off at.
No, exactly.
It's me and you.
Yep. That's why I think I texted you. I don't remember specifically what I said. But I was like, I'm just so mad at myself for whatever I said.
But then it starts actually with me. Because the way that the hierarchy of our family is, I'm the man, I'm the leader, then my wife, my queen, and then my kids, in sequential order, Phoenix, Jade, Bailey. That's the way I see the family.
Yep.
Everyone, the older you are, the more responsibilities you should have, right?
Yep.
The older you are, if you're doing responsibilities, the more leniency you should have, the more the more fun, I guess you're capable of having, the more freedom, right, that you could have. But when I was looking at these kids and watching them and they're asking, we're spending a lot of time. I left sleepovers. I mean, it was, if you ask them, they had a great weekend.
They had such a great weekend.
Great weekend. But then I really paid attention to what they were doing in their downtime. Mm-hmm. And that's where the topic come from. I can't be my best self. Stop. I'm on this quest to live a great life. Mm-hmm. I'm on this quest to have a soul level fucking connection with you. I'm on this quest to be so spiritually led and connected with God and the universe and everything that I'm building a divine movement of men, right? Mm-hmm. I'm so fucking gung-ho on us having a 9, now thinking 10-figure net worth. That's like literally that's where my mind is shifted to. Mm-hmm. I'm so gung-ho on being able to make love to you and every planet and worried about the way that I look and the way that you look and the fitness and the body and having the great kids, right? Yep. The look is what I'm at. Like I'm excited about it, the way that it feels to get there. But then I realized that when I'm watching these things, I'm getting up every day and I'm doing to have it all and leading just myself, which ultimately leads the family, but I'm really not actually paying attention to what's going on in my family.
Sure. I think that's a little harsh for yourself.
Well, I'm going to be this harsh on me because that's the new me.
I know, but that is always how you've been. But I truly think that came from a place of when you and I had first got together, the hierarchy was like, you're the provider, you're the protector. And those are like kind of your roles that you fell into. You're like, okay, of course you're always protecting us and you're always very present with the kids. But it's kind of like your job is to go to work, provide, you protect us. And that was kind of like, yeah. And then of course, when we do family things, of course you're there or whatever. But as far as like this new, really being able to see maybe the kids take advantage or me allow the kids to take such advantage of how I run the household when you're not there. It just wasn't something that we thought was necessary for you to really step into because Mark and I are very hypercritical of everything that we do. When it comes to raising our kids, we have phenomenal kids. If you were to ask anybody, they're like, oh my gosh, like your kids are like top tier, amazing, wonderful, kind, athletic, beautiful children, and I'm grateful for that. But at the end of the day, when Mark and I are in bed, it's like, okay, I beat myself up over, okay, what could I have done better for the kids today? Like, why are they acting this way or why are they doing, whatever. And, but yeah, to back it up, I think that hypercritic finally, when me stepped away, when I was gone this weekend in Florida, you were able to be like, okay. And especially since we're making this new shift in our life of just like elevating everything. And I'll admit when you had first said it, I got a little like, it's very important to me to feel needed and to provide what I provide for our family, like the nurturing and the loving. And I think that's where my mothering comes from. Like it is a straight fact that I am essentially a non-disciplinary when it comes to, I don't ever feel like our kids do anything exceptionally naughty. They're annoying and I have to repeat myself thousands of times, but that's something that that's something I shouldn't allow, but it's easy for me to let it go because it is such minor things a lot of the time until it's not. And that's kind of where we're at right now. But yeah, I got a little like, man, like, what is he going to need me for if you're going to step in now? And
we need to squash that.
No, I know.
I've told you from day one.
I know.
And this sounds harsh. I've never needed you.
Yeah, you've always said that.
Wanted you.
Yep. And that's really hard for me to grasp because I do put so much emphasis on me, like providing and nurturing. And it kind of put me in a spot, like a little panic spot for a second of like, oh, okay, well, Mark's going to be running the household now too, like in a sense of like the hierarchy of like the disciplinary, and this is how the kids are going to do, and they have to read and they have to do this. And it kind of put me in a spot of like, oh, like, well, what am I here for? Mm-hmm. And it made me, a little, but then you did immediately reassure me without even knowing that I needed that reassurance. You're like, I just want you to grow and to find what you know. And I was like, okay, I know I will continue to do those things. And of course I'm going to continue to parent and be there for the kids. But it was kind of like for a fraction of a second, I was kind of like, oh, okay.
That's how you respond though.
That is to
things, right? You're always like, when I come in and I jerk the wheel and she makes some change in our household or whatever we're doing, it kind of like, it kind of fucks you up a little bit. But I mean, I cannot be any more crystal clear that like when I say I've never needed you, I wanted you, but then by wanting you created desires, and now I have needs that you fulfill every day by being who you are alongside me.
Yeah.
Right. Like I do need you now, but I don't,
not in the ways that I think,
but I mean, you take care of me all the time. Like my life is my life because you take care of me. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. But this is the thing, by doing this, I'm going to make you better.
Yep.
Because I'm going to make you better. I'm going to make them better. We're going to make our family better. We're going to operate a little bit differently, which in turn is going to make your life better. And the needs and the wants and the desires are going to fucking skyrocket through the roof.
And you want to know something? It's so easy. And it has always been so easy for me, even in moments where I do get a little panicked or scared about some of the shifts that we make, or like, okay, where am I going to fit into this? Like, it's so easy for me to say, you know what? Let go of whatever fears and doubts that I'm like having internally, because you've never led our family wrong. Everything that you've ever done for us has always made us better in every way possible. So if I can just, I remind myself in those moments of where I'm kind of like, and I'm just like, nope, release it, let it go. Your husband has got you. He's got this. And plus with my, desire to grow and to do these things along the side of you, it has never, we've never failed because of it. So it's really amazing when I can like sit back and I can look at that.
So what I'm doing, just for the listeners so they can hear it out, is like, it's nothing bad. I just know that it's very important for me to make sure that all of you can take care of yourselves if anything ever happens to me.
Yep.
So if I'm on this quest right now to go build this life for me, but I'm not paying attention, and I say that super critical on myself.
Yeah.
By giving by making them who they can be, I am failing as a fucking father.
Yep.
I'm failing as a husband. Mm-hmm. And there's not a person in the world that would say Mark is a failure when it comes to that. But when I did a true facts about where I'm at,
or hypercritical,
and a true like legit what I want, this is not how I want them to operate.
Yep.
Like I want them to be confident.
Yep.
In everything. So it goes back to the social media thing, right? Looking at it, I'm like, one day I just let it be. I'm watching them, and like every chance that they can get, outside then inside. And it's on, Phoenix is on the phone. Jade is watching whatever TV. Type of, no, it wasn't TV. But she does watch TV, but like it was the makeup thing or the whatever she likes, right? And Bailey's watching stupid, just their time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting up every day to create time for my family, to create legacy for my family. Yet in my doors, in my home, under my roof, I'm taking the very people that I love and I'm allowing them to do shit that I fucking do not want the world to do to them. Mm-hmm. Right on my watch.
Control them. Yeah, right? Essentially.
They're going to be controlled in their minds, and they're going to be dictated. If I'm not teaching my kids this, who is teaching them? But at the same time, when I look at it, because we're a social media company, if you will, right, or marketing company, but really we're all types of things here. But we are using this weapon as a weapon of destruction or construction, and I'm changing everything. This thing we're doing does not just shift. It's not just the kids. It's you. Yep. It's Ryan. It's Kevin. It's the team. But it starts with me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. How the fuck can I be such a hypocrite?
Yeah.
If I find myself feeding into these fucking pussies who are saying bad things about me every day. Mm-hmm. Like, even though I don't feed into it, but
you still
consume and sitting down, get on my Instagram, even if I'm on Instagram for 10 minutes a day, like I'm not on it a lot, but those 10 minutes can leave lingering issues and thoughts and control and frustrations that are like reaching into me.
Yep.
And then it's actually not just the Instagram, it's the frivolous, like looking through my app, this rotation. I'm like, there's this fucking habit that I'm feeling about myself. Yep. I don't like the way that it feels. And then I watch my 3 kids do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I watch you do the same thing.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a cup of coffee plus, and like, I'm not saying that we should never use social media.
No, I know.
I'm gonna use it as a fucking deployment tool to put this message everywhere. And I give zero fucks of anyone on the outside. I've reached a spot here, like within the past week, that I'm fucking building a 9-figure net worth business in 2 years, period, the end. Mark my fucking words. And going to go on from before that. I don't care how we do it. We're going to do it.
Yep.
But my team is going to grow. They're going to become millionaires. You are going to grow. We're going to get even stronger, and where that's going to go. But I was so fucking disappointed at myself because, like, it's no different than drinking.
Sure, you're talking about like the habit of it.
Yeah, I'm talking about for the kids. Like, I'm teaching these I'm talking about how good of a dad I am, yet I'm letting them be controlled by fucking TikTok.
Right. Yeah.
So I made some changes and shifts in the way that we do things. I'm not taking it away. I'll still let them have some mindless scrolling because I think that that's probably what kids want to do, right? Maybe it's a limited time.
Still has to be some time.
They still have to have, I don't want them to be fucking, I don't know. Maybe I do. Well, maybe that'll come in the next few months. I don't want to force my obsessive nature, my new discipline style, the way I'm living my life on you, on him, on the kids, period.
Yeah. Actually, this morning, Jade was in the car ride and she's like, Mom, Dad says we have to read every day now for 30 minutes. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I said, I agree with that. And she's like, why do we have to do that? And I was like, because we're different, Jade. I said, we want to be different. Everything that we are going to do now moving forward, we are not a normal family. We are never going to act like a normal family. We don't ever want to be a normal family. I said, so we're going to do what most people don't do.
100%.
And that also is reading for 30 minutes. That's why you exercise on
Not
Monday,
just reading
Wednesday.
for 30 minutes.
No, I know.
Like, no,
What you're consuming. Yeah.
It's got to be a positive or a mental motivational self development book.
Yep.
All the way down to Bailey, who's 8 years old.
Yep.
Although I kind of just want her to read, but like Jade's at that age, 11, she needs to learn about life. She needs to be confident. They can be learning sales and persuasion. She's got a business thing that she wants to like.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I just so fucking irritated with myself that I'm like, dude, my biggest bitch, I don't have regrets, but my biggest bitch in my life was how many days I've wasted drunk inside of a bar.
Mm-hmm. You say
never seeing the fucking sun. And I've got a great life, hot wife, great kids, great team, success. But I look at that life and I'm like, what the fuck? You're never getting that back.
Yep.
And then I watch these kids having sunny days, covered up in their room in a blankets, watching something that makes zero fucking sense to their life. And I'm like, this is the same pattern that you taught them. Mm-hmm. You're allowing it. And I lost my shit.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I didn't yell. I mean, I'm not yelling.
The kids like I said, the kids had a great weekend. And truthfully, I've been without even really knowing, I've been waiting for like this disciplinary side for you to like come forward, because I absolutely love everything that you've ever taken charge of in your family's life. And like I said, it's never let us wrong. We always get better. And so I'm very excited. I'm going
to be very careful how I come here. I'm not going to come from force. I'm going to come from power. I'm going to empower them to start understanding that they are capable of more.
Yep.
So what I realized for me and for you listeners out there, and then we'll get to you in a second, is like, I do not have it all, even though seemingly on the outside I do, because I'm missing something at home, which is I could be building them so much better. Yes, sure. They're great kids.
They're great kids.
But who puts them on a pedestal?
Right.
People who don't have great lives.
Yep.
Now we look at someone like Grant Cardone's kids, which you guys just having a conversation.
Yep.
My kids are not on that level.
Nope.
How many other kids that I just don't know of that are doing things in their life? I don't care about education. I care that they give it their all, that they're confident, that they understand entrepreneurship, or that they go all in their sports. Like, I want them to literally live life where they never need to join a fucking men's movement or women's movement.
Yep.
Even though I built it and it's changed our life. Like, I don't want that for them.
Yeah.
So some things that they're doing is they're reading for 30 minutes every day. When they get to go on YouTube, they have to pick their activity, which is either sports, crafts, arts, music, something that they're going to be invested in. They can watch YouTube videos and they can learn how to do those better. I'm cool with all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. They're going to be, doing things constantly to make themselves better.
Yep.
They can still go out and play. They can still sleep in. They can still eat junk food, right? I mean, there's limited amounts.
I was going to say, when do they?
Ice cream, I'm saying like ice cream and stuff that we do, but everything about them is going to be designed to make them winners. And if they hate it, they will respect it when they get older.
They will. It is one of those things where being a parent trumps what the kid is, you know. I think that's, and not to go like down this rabbit hole, but we know what's best for the kids, even when they don't.
Nobody did this for me.
Nope.
I'm going to save them fucking, like I thought about this. I'm like, dude, I literally get paid millions of dollars to coach people, and I'm not coaching my wife or my kids.
Sure.
I'm loving them with everything that I have.
Yeah.
Right? Give. But I wasn't giving them the very thing that I have that most people want. And that is resilience. People come to me because they want to know how to never quit.
Yep.
How to be something that they cannot see and to become more than they are. And I've got 4 moldable people in you and them sitting right here in front of me. And it was like an eye opener for me. I'm like, damn, dude, you really, really are not shit. And then I thought about, like, because comparison's a big thing, and where I'm at in my life right now is compared to other people out there. And then I said, you know what, dude? If I'm going to do that to them, I actually have to be the example for them and for you.
Yep.
And I made a list of changes.
You did.
Now with you, though, you talked about being needed. And I actually do have a need, which is that you can expand your mind and your confidence, and you already do great, right? But even like those little hesitations there of like, whoa, he doesn't need me. Like, I need you to know that if anything, I need to know that you know that you are okay if anything ever happens to me.
Sure.
And I'm not just talking about being okay and living off life insurance. I'm talking about fucking thriving.
Yeah.
You really want a soul level connection that we're after, then I need to be able to love you in this life and the dimensions and in heaven and wherever we're at. And I need to make sure that, like, at some point, if our time is separated again, you know, I say again, separated again, and we're not in the same place for whatever, that you are actually fucking thriving. So when you say I don't need you, I just need you to know, like, I want you. What do you hear when I say that? Like, what does that mean to you?
I hear you and I accept it. I really
do. You feel it? Like, I'm trying to, like, I wish you guys on this fucking thing could feel what I'm saying.
I always feel how much you want me and how much you know, it's scary to hear it verbally, because for whatever reason, hearing it verbally in my mind, I just go, I go to, I guess I don't know where the story comes from of like, I have to be doing something for you in order for you to like find me valuable. You know, like I have to be doing these things, producing these things for you to find me a valuable wife. Like, not that it's like incomprehensible that you just want me and love me because of like who I am and what I do. Like, I just feel like I need to be doing something to earn that, you know? And so when you say, or like just for this past few days, when you're like, yeah, I'm going to come in and I'm going to be doing this, and this, it's kind of like those were my jobs. And now that I don't have to do that, and then you tell me, you're like, I just want you to be like whatever you want to be, you know? And I'm like, okay, but who am I without those things? It's a little scary, you know?
So this is where.
But I'm excited to explore that. I really am.
I don't see it. Yeah, I'm going to come down and lay down the roost, or lay down the rules, whatever you want to say. Only until I get them to a point where they're doing it on their own. And then that leaves you and I the ability just to watch what we created. Yeah. And it's what's going to happen tonight when I make them read, because it's going to be after school, you're home. They're going to want to come right back to their habits
of mom's here. We got to go back to what mom allowed. Yeah.
This is dad's. Yeah.
Yep.
Mom's back. This is how things are going to work.
Yep.
And you need to say, no, this is what we do now. Yep. Grab your book and go upstairs.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
And I think, and what's really amazing is I love that you are taking control and like being once again, the head of the household and doing that, because these are the things that I've always wanted out of our kids. You know, I always wanted Phoenix to take charge and do things more on his own. I wanted Jaden, definitely Bailey, like just because how many times have I said just because she's little, I was like, she should be doing these certain things, and I'm freaking sounding like a broken record, repeating myself and doing whatever. And, you know, and so finally, like you coming in and being like, okay, here we go. This is what we're going to do. It's you, me, and then the kids, so it's like both of us.
And inside of me, you, kids, this happened on Wednesday when I first had Friday, I had a conversation with my Kings group talking about, I said, could you imagine if all of your companies were ran by the core values known as the Comeback 7? Faith, finances, family, fitness, future, freedom foundation. Could you imagine if you had, I think one guy's got like 80 employees, 80 employees rowing the same way, doing the same shit, stacking, communicating, and just literally, do you know how much more productivity, how better your whole company and your organization would be? And it hit me. I'm like, fuck, wait a minute. Because my company does that, right? It's not perfect, but it's you have to participate to play, to be part of this game, to be part of this world. But then I got thinking about over the weekend. I'm like, okay, my family, my wife does. They know the Comeback 7. They live by them. I think that I lead awake enough for everyone to understand it, but we have different values that need to be hit.
Yep.
Right? Because I'm not going to make Bailey stack. She has no fucking clue that's not going to work, right?
Yep.
But she can understand responsibility.
Yep.
She can understand fun.
Yep.
She can understand love. She can understand kindness.
Yep.
Right? So and discipline, right? Because really that's what I want for everybody is just, I want next levels of discipline for them so that their habits, for you too, so that starting with me, all of our habits, all of our routines, everything we build, it just goes freer. The question I asked you was, I know I'm talking a lot today, but the question I asked you was, could you imagine what our life would look like if we just doubled down, no social media, no wasted time.
Yep.
Like just focused on us.
Yep.
And inside of, for us, faith, finance, family, fitness, and then all these different core values, the business, you and I driving this thing to what's possible. I said, what is possible for us? And the minute that I fucking asked you that question, I realized I was playing too small.
Sure. Like there literally is no rules. Yeah. As I'm sitting, and I've said that over and over and over, but something energetically shifted to where I have to figure this out. It's not just a what if. It's now time. Like I have to see what we really are in this life, what the movement is, how much you can grow. Cause you're going to be different as a 40-year-old woman, as a 32-year-old woman. Yeah. You're going to be different at 50. You're going to be different at 60, right? But like, how do you get the most out of your life? So when you say that I don't need you, I need you to do that. Yep.
Of course, I need you to love me. I need all those things, but like, I need you to do that. And it's just been an overwhelming just feeling recently of like, man, we're so close. But then realizing that the closer we get, we are so far away.
But we're starting.
We have started. Mm-hmm. And that's like, there's a lot of people that have this journey. We started look where we came from in 2018.
Like crazy, actually. I think about it often.
Look how many mistakes I made.
Yeah.
Look how many people that leech off me.
Definitely.
Look how much time I wasted on turning the company into things that shouldn't be because I didn't have clarity on where we were going. Mm-hmm. I always had clarity on what that means.
Yeah.
But how to get there. Like look at just from the first time we even made love to the way it happens now. Right? Mm-hmm. The way that we vacationed.
Yeah.
To where we do now. To the way that to the kids' shoes. It's just sometimes I'm blown away. But this comes down to one thing. None of this works if I don't do what I said I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. So, what do you have to add today? I feel like I talked the whole time.
You did, but I loved it. And I agreed with all of it. I'm excited for where we're going. We're going as a family. So excited.
And I don't even know, it's not just our family. It's everyone around us, my team. It has never been more evident and crystal clear to me that like I truly have something in the palm of my hands that can shift humanity for us and the people that we love. And not shift humanity, but it can make a pivot, a shift, to change humanity.
Yeah.
But what it can do for me, for you, like not even, it's like interesting because it's not just from a fucking money place. It's from a just energetic place of, dude, what is possible?
Yep.
I mean, So yeah. What book are you going to read? Put you on the spot here.
I don't know yet.
Come on.
I have to do some research. I know I could just ask you, but
no, I don't want you. That's another great thing to go. I don't want you to do that. Like, let's just put it on the podcast. Like maybe, like, what do you think you're interested? Like the next level of growth for you? Is it spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially?
I think of some of the biggest shifts.
Physically, I think I said that.
Some of the biggest shifts that I would like to make internally have to do with like, what do I deserve as far as like financially? Because I talk about it, I feel like all the time about like, yeah, I don't need these things, or I don't want, like, I'm just so good with, I love my body. I love the way I mother. I love where we, like, you know, so it's very easy, but I know that's not going to help us in the grand scheme of things if I can't open my mind up to what is financially possible. And sometimes I'm like, I don't even know where to start because it's so overwhelming for me. Cause I'm just like, no, that's your realm. Like, I don't even want to think about it. I'm just, you know, but I am excited to dive into, to like open my mind up to that receiving and what I deserve. And, you know, cause the only time, if you were to ask me like, oh, like, what do I deserve? I would say everything. Okay. Well, what is everything, you know? And it's easy for me to answer when we're talking about, you know, spiritually, mentally, physically, but when it comes to the financial part specifically, I'm like, oh,
well, let me ask you this.
I don't know, you know?
What do you think you're worth? If you and a number, it's a no wrong answer.
It's hard.
What do you think you are worth? To me, to these kids, to the movement,
like
to the
to
world.
legitimately
Like,
put a number
put
on
a number
it.
on
It scares me to even like try to say that. Because how can I like quantify this number?
You just have to believe.
Yeah.
I'm worth billions.
You are.
Multiple.
Yeah.
And I know that.
And when it comes to certain things, I would say my life skills and my wisdom and the things that I've been through, I would say, yeah, maybe I'm worth like X amount of millions of dollars here. But if somebody was to like want to hire me for like a financial business coach, I'd be like, yeah, no, you don't do that for me. Like, so that's why I want to expand specifically in that area.
Here's what's going to happen. When you start expanding your mind on that and you start seeing your place, and what you're going to find is, and you already know it, and it's what I love about you, it's never going to be about the things.
Yeah. It's never been about things
it's not
for me.
about the things.
No.
We already have lots of nice
I just
things.
want to know what's possible. Because I don't know what I don't know. And I know that. I know that sounds so silly to say.
The first target I've already told you is 100 million. I need you to believe and conceive, conceptualize, you know, manifest and think every day.
Like, I don't even know what I would look like. Like, what do I look like? What do I act like? I don't know what any of that is for 100 million. Like, what does that Kendra look like? I don't fucking know. I probably am going to love her because I love me at all these stages of my life, but I don't know what I said.
How did Kendra look 2018? Who was Kendra? I mean, no, for real. Like, I loved her. Flatty patty booty. And I got that plumper dumper, but like, who was Kendra in 2018?
Yeah.
When we met? Like, just if you had to look at it.
I would just say I was so lost. I mean, I was so happy. I loved myself. Like these things that a lot of women specifically are missing in their life, like the confidence and all these things. I had that and I had nothing, you know? I think that's partly like why you're so drawn to me. I had fucking literally nothing, but I was kind. I was fun. I was, you know, confident. And I was just like, I don't know what
cool.
this is. I was cool. I was like, this is just me, you know? And I love that about me. And so as I continue to grow, spiritually, you know, self-developmentally, is not even a word, but
it doesn't matter.
it's fine. You do. But everything, and really the only place I can say where I'm so hesitant, and I say hesitant because my mind immediately goes to money, things, which things never do it for me. So I'm just like, well, what do I? But I'm going to switch. I'm switching that mindset slowly to like, okay, if it's not that, then it can be something else. Like, what is freaking possible? So that's where I'm going, and I'm ready to learn it.
Money isn't just about things; it's about being able to give back and be able to help for the right reasons.
I mean,
you can't help anybody if you don't have any money.
No, that's true. And I mean, I volunteer, me and the kids. You know, like come.
I mean, sometime I want to walk in I want to walk in and do some, I would love to be part of something where I could walk in and write a fat check for $10 million and have no worries about it.
Yeah. And we will.
Right. Like that's the level that I want to play at because it's possible. It's not that I want to play. It's where we're going to play at. And this isn't just about making this episode about money. It's about seeing the value in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's it. Right.
I agree.
So some of the things that you did right away to follow my lead was pulled off. What have you done so far? Pulled off social media.
Yep. Pulled off social media.
Made a list of things.
I made a list of very specific things that I want to get done to learn. The only thing I'm really missing is maybe having a coach, mentor, or a book, self-development book that I want to dive into because I just haven't done enough research on that yet for me. But
I think in 2024, since I invested fucking $500,000 plus into me, and I'm still kind of looking like, how do I take this IAMACOMEBACK thing? I'm looking for new mentors now. I don't know who I'd go to, but I'm going to dump some cash into you to help you solve. Because here's what I know. Investing in you, invest back in me, which invest back in us, and it pours into these kids.
And I would really, really love to be able to have a high level business conversation with you about money and specific, because that's like, for me, that's like the piece that's missing when it comes to, like, you could talk to me all day about business and 90% of it I don't really understand. I mean, I not to the level that I want to understand it at, financial goals and the things like that's the piece that's missing for me specifically learning. So yeah, like I said, maybe I'll find a coach that I'm interested in. She's got to be real, authentic, the things that I
got some ideas in my mind for you right now. Anyways,
I'm excited.
So I'm just going to wrap this thing up. And that was a great, I sorry if I took so much of this.
No, I loved it.
And to the listeners out there, I know a lot of people like to hear Kendra, but the reality is this: Kendra hears me every day and she's following my lead by example. Yep. And I think for the men that listen to me, like, what you can learn from this episode is I literally tore myself apart this weekend.
You did.
Like, to the fucking studs.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm like, this version of me is dead. Yep. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Spiritually, I'm good. Like, my faith is on fire right now. My business, I'm not happy with where it's at. Nope. Right? I'm happy with where it's at. I'm not happy with where we're on the trajectory we're going. I need more. I want more. There's a lid on it. I can feel it in every ounce of it. My family, I love my family. It's great. This is just, we're leveling up in such a fucking massive way. And what's great about it for the first time is I'm not looking outside for anybody. I'm not comparing. I'm looking inside and across to my wife. Yep. And then building into my kids and into my team, and everyone else can get fucked. Yep. In the nicest way.
I know what you mean.
Right? Yeah. Like, if you don't add value to my life,
you are not a part of it.
Fucking gone. Yep. And I said that over and over and over, but like, at this point,
I feel like it's for real at this point.
Well, not only it's been for real. It's just that it gets better and better and better.
It does.
Now the next level is like, I'm only going to surround myself with people who are fucking living sold out for themselves.
Yep.
Like, there's guys that have what I want.
Yep.
I have what they want. We can change, we can network, we can talk, we can communicate. But the last thing I want to say is I love you. I'm grateful that, you never need to worry about, you should never have any hesitation in your mind that like, oh, what am I going to do now for him? Yep. Because I've told you from day one, I'll say it on this podcast, like, even when I wasn't as successful as I was, I didn't need you. I could have paid for every single thing in the world to get done for me.
Yeah.
I chose to go all in on you. Like, I don't care if you ever, I know you like to do this, which is why I get it. I let you be you because that's who I want you to be.
Yep.
I never want you to worry or be distracted or fearful that like, you're not good enough for me. Mm-hmm. I only have eyes for you.
I know.
I literally only want to spend the rest of my life with you. I fucking do not lie. I literally am happy as fuck.
Me too.
With you. And I'm going to be even more happy with the next version of you. And then more happy with the next version of you. And I'm going to be even happy when you're a granny.
Granny
in your granny panties.
You're going to love them.
All right. Anything you want to say?
Nope.
That's it for this week's episode of the Comeback Couples Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, or don't. I don't give a fuck.